welcome to yoga. My name is Lindsay, and we'll get started. Let's start seated on a block on your mat. If you don't have a block, a blanket or something to elevate your hips. And also have a strap handy. So today we're going to be working on balance postures as well as strengthening the core, strengthening the waist, the size of the body, and helping to facilitate some good balance. So anything that you need for your asana that help you to achieve that, give you that little extra reach and length, this is what we come to yoga for. Expand our bodies, to touch base with our bodies, listening in. Let's have this, take this seat right now, closing the eyes, and breathing into the back of the throat with the tongue on the upper palate behind the front teeth, creating a straw-like effect as we sip the breath into the body and lengthen the spine. Breathing normally, just noticing how it feels to bring conscious awareness inside the body through the breath. Grounding into the sits bones. Letting the top of the head be free and open. You have to take deeper breaths here. Maybe letting out the exhale a little bit more into the bottom of the abdomen. Squeezing out the breath even as far down as the pubis and the bandha, the pelvic floor, so that we can inhale the whole body from the bottom up, inhaling into that lower abdomen space, Pigeon, Bandha, third chakra, up to the top of the chest, shoulders, head, ears, eyes, temples. We're filling up the container, which brings us conscious awareness into our limbs, into many sensations within the body. Empty, full of breath. Inhaling. And exhale everything out. Good. Open the eyes gently. And let's take the right shoulder, right arm across. Just pulling the elbow into the chest. Opening up the arms here. Switching sides, bringing the left arm across, keeping that straight posture, widening the chest, opening the waist, and back, and then hands on the thighs, just take some head rolls over to the side in a big circle, clockwise or counterclockwise. Turns. And then the other way. Just noticing what you feel. Being gentle. Let's take that right hand over top of the left ear and pull the head down to the right shoulder. And breathe and lengthen the chest. Pull in the abdomen, low ribs, descend the tailbone as you lift through the chest and clavicular region. That's that front collarbone. And exhale. See if you can bring the head down to the right shoulder even more. arm tension today. Bring that left hand on the right ear. Pull the head down to the left shoulder. Keeping engagement through the core, through the bandhas. Breathing mindfully into the front body, the back body. Lifting the spine. As you exhale, bring that head just a little heavier to the left side. Good. And inhale, release. Let's do some cat-cow in a seated position. Bringing the hands to brace on the front of the knees here. Inhale, roll the elbows back, chest forward. Lift and lengthen, reaching from the back of the head in an arc of the back. And then exhale, emptying, releasing, pulling those low abs into the back body, rolling the shoulders forward. Inhale, reverse. Open up the chest, side ribs forward, back of the head reaching. Exhale, fully of breath. Pull the abdomen in. Inhale, reach, lift, lengthen. Exhale, roll everything forward. Tuck the chin here. Let's do one more like that. Inhaling, lengthen. Exhale, rolling forward, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. Good. And we'll come off of our blocks or props. Place them to the side. Got my strap over to the side. And then let's make our way to downward facing dog. Rolling the hands externally, thumb and forefingers parallel. Untuck the toes, press up the hips, and roll back to the ball of the foot here. So slight internal rotation of the inner thighs as we press into the hands and lift the torso up and away from the front of the mat. Drop the elbows, widen the collarbones, square off the shoulders as you press firmly into the palm of the hands. Taking some breaths here to ground. Inhale into the low abdomen. Press back. Just get into a nice warmed up down dog here. Let's sway from side to side, rocking the hips, lifting one heel and the other, getting long in the torso, in the spine. Opening up the side ribs, underneath the armpits, the subaxillary area. A couple more rocks like this. And then inhale, let's come forward to a plank position, lifting the abdomen, tucking the tail, look forward, roll the shoulders back, elbows back, upper thighs in, heels away. Lengthen here for an inhale. And exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Let's move with the breath here. Inhale into plank. Find your full plank at the top of the inhale. Exhale back to down dog. Inhale forward to plank. Lift the thighs, squeeze the legs. Exhale back to down dog. Let's come forward again with an inhale. Notice how it feels when we really engage the legs and lift into that back body. Let the back body pull the strength up and out of you. Bend the knees. Drop chest to between thumbs, elbows in. Inhale, let's come to a Sphinx pose, forearms to the mat. tuck the tail, lift one leg and reach it out behind, then lift the other leg to match. Nice long legs here. Inhale, pull the chest forward, getting nice and long through the hips, the low back. Reach the navel center towards the front of the mat. Hips are touching and abdomen is softly lifting off the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, roll those outer shoulders back. Insides of the ribs coming forward. Exhale, outer shoulders back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, shoulders back. Come down onto the mat, bring hands to the waist, untuck the toes, reverse knees, chest, chin, lift the hips. Exhale, press the heel of the hand, hips away, coming into child's pose. And then on your inhale, rising to down dog. Take nice long breaths here, inhaling. Exhale, really bring that breath into the arms, into the back, the side ribs. Good. On your next inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, bend the knee towards the right wrist. Drop the left knee. Let's come into a crescent pose. I'm keeping my back heel tucked. I'm inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, sinking the right hip down. Letting the left quad get a stretch forward. And exhale, square the hands up around the right foot and then heel toe that heel away to get a hamstring stretch here, lifting the chest. Elbows back, same process as Sphinx, but we're in a half Hanuman here. Lift the abdomen up and out of the pelvis, reach the chest forward, elbows back. Good, exhale, rock onto that right foot, come into an elongated lunar lunge. Sink the hips a little lower, reach higher, look up. And exhale, place the hands, come into down dog. Quick pose, knees, chest, chin, chaturanga, look forward. Let's take a high cobra here. And exhale, back to down dog. Inhale, lift the left leg back. Exhale, sweep it forward to the left wrist, drop the right knee, keep the toes untucked as you sweep the arms up and over the head, sinking the hips, reaching right hip forward, left hip back. Freeing the waist, pulling up on Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha, the pelvic floor, navel center. And exhale, come forward, heel toe that left foot forward so it becomes straight in Ardha Hanumanasana. Inhale, elbows back, lift the chest, squeeze the quads, lengthen the belly out of the pelvis. Get into this nice hamstring stretch here, calf stretch. How's the breath? Can we lengthen and bring it into more parts of the torso, the low back here? And on your exhale, drop that left foot. Come into an elongated lunar lunge. Reach the arms up and over. Come into a little more of a back bend as you squeeze the tailbone through the pubis and the heart center. And exhale, come down, frame the left foot, look forward, look up. Right foot brings to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold here, drop the chin. You can keep a little bend in the knees if you'd like. Make this an active forward fold, lifting the sits bones, lengthening the low back. And inhale and sweep the arms coming all the way up. Exhale down. So now we will warm up our bodies with some Surya Namaskar A and B. And see if I can do it right. We did a little bit of Surya C a few weeks ago. So let's do it. So inhale, bring your hands to heart center, thumbs to the heart. Again, find your Tadasana here. Even out the feet. Slight inward rotation of the upper thighs. Balance between heaven and earth. Skull over arches of the feet. Lengthen the body here. And then let's take this into a flow. Inhale, open up the arms, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, place the hands, step back to plank. Lower down, knees, chest, chin, or keep that strong plank with the lifted legs, lifted back, elbows perpendicular. Pull the abdomen through. Lift the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg back. Sweep it forward, warrior one. On the right side, left heel down, arms up. Make a pink finger point with your thumb and forefinger. Squeeze the triceps in, roll those outer shoulders forward. Lift and lengthen. Left hip forward, right hip back. Bend into that warrior one. Lengthen again. And let's take this to vinyasa. Meeting back and down dog. So whenever I say vinyasa, I mean your vinyasa. So knees, chest, chin, or plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog. Let's inhale, lift the left leg behind, square hips. Exhale, sweep it forward to the left wrist, right heel down, arms up. Find a clasp in the weird way, pointing thumb and forefinger. Lift through the heart. Imagine the shoulder blades rolling down the body to really set the heart on a plate, presenting it to the world. Bend into that front knee. Get a little longer here. Right hip forward, left hip back. And exhale, downward facing dog. Going to plank, taking your vinyasa here. Abdomen in, strong legs. Rolling the heart forward. Downward facing dog. Inhale for 2. Exhaling. Inhale for 1. Exhale. Inhale, look up. Bend the knees. Top or step to the top of the mat. Halfway point. Exhale, fold over the legs. Squeeze the thighs, but keep the upper body soft. Inhale, heel toe the ankles together. Sweep the arms up, flat back. Reach. Up. And exhale down. Let's take this into Surya Namaskar B, sitting back into our chair. Thighs together. Knees together. Sweep the arms up. Outer hips back. Lifting the abdomen. See if you can bend into that chair a little bit more. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. exhale, place the hands, right foot back, left foot back plank. Chaturanga or hopping back is also good. Downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg back. Exhale, right leg forward. Left heel down, let's come into warrior two, opening up the arms. Bending that right knee. Externally rotating the hips. Tailbone down, look over that third finger as you widen the collarbones. Becoming light in the upper body with the breath. Exhaling. Inhale, bring that left hand behind the waist, right arm by the ear. Surrendered warrior, or humble warrior. And look underneath your arm or down at your back ankle. Let's rotate the chest up and forward, getting a stretch in that left groin. Reaching strong left quad inside of the left leg. Strong internal rotation of the left back leg. And exhale, keep that rotation as you bring the right elbow to the right knee. Left arm by the ear. Pull the abdomen in as you press the right hip towards the left heel. Reach the right arm up by the ear, bringing both arms. A little bit of a challenge here, but some place to go to as we get lighter, using our core strength. And exhale, drop the hands inside the right foot, left heel up, left hands flat to the ground. Let's open up the right arm, twisted low lunge. Breathe through the abdomen, roll the left elbow back. Bring that left waist towards the inside of the right leg. Exhale, arm to the front of the room by the ear. And then sweeping down, let's come into plank pose, take a vinyasa. Find your down dog. Engage the abdomen. Drop the head and neck. Outer shoulders rolling down. Inhale, look forward. Bend the knees, hop or step to the top of the mat. Inhale halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, let's come into chair, heel, toe, feet together, knees together. Sit back, reach the arms forward. Keep sticking out the sits bones, but wrap the front body, wrap the outer waist, the inner abdomen in towards the body. So sits bones back, abs engaged here. Sink lower, squeeze the thighs, and inhale, let's come all the way up. Back bend, tuck the tail, squeeze thighs up, reaching back, and exhale to Samastiti. Heart center, Tadasana. Good. Inhale, let's come into chair again. Reaching forward, hips back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, let the breath move into the halfway. At the full exhale, coming into Chaturanga. Exhale all the way down. Inhale all the way up. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, sweep it forward to the left wrist. Right foot down, warrior two. Externally rotating the hips to open. So if we're externally externally rotating the front of the hips. That means the glutes are working concentrically in and down. Look over that third finger. Become light in the upper body. Release something that's on your heart here. You don't need it anymore. Breathing in and exhaling, surrender. Inhale, right hand behind waist, left arm by the ear. Reach and lengthen in the left side body as you look down or up underneath the arm. And if your hand is placed on top of your thigh, press into there, bend the knee. And then let's turn it. Inhale, rotate the chest up, lengthen. Right leg is super strong as you're twisting the chest up. So we're bringing that right shoulder forward, but we're keeping the right inner thigh, inner leg super strong. And exhale, lengthen out the arms, bring the left elbow to the knee. I'm going to shorten my stance a little bit. Right arm by the ear, left hip down to the right heel. And then let's get lighter in the upper body, tuck the tail, lift the abdomen, raise that left arm by the ear. Super burn in the left quad, that's good. Rotate the chest, lengthen. Exhale, bring the hands down, drop the right hand, right heel comes up. Let's come into that twisted low lunge here. Rotate that right elbow back, bringing the right quad and the right waist towards that inner left leg here. So I'm letting there be a little bit of a descent in my right quad, but I'm lifting up and out through the chest. Bring the arm by the ear, reaching to the front of the mat, and exhale. Let's take a vinyasa here. Leaning back in down dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bend the knees, hop or step to the top of the mat. Halfway pose. Exhale down, tuck the chin. Inhale, lift to halfway, heel toe the feet a bit farther, wider than your mat with the toes hanging off the mat, heels in. I'm going to take Malasana pose, dropping the hips. If you need props and you know you need them, go ahead. If you feel warmed up and you want to try, bring the elbows inside the knees, palms at the chest, and just gently descend the hips as you lift the front body up and out. So press into the elbows, elbows press into the hips. Find that pressure of the elbows and knees, and that's going to help buoy the hips. If you need a blanket under your heels, if your heels don't quite touch the ground, go ahead. Let's take a couple breaths here. Opening up the hips, using that pressure to create openings and lifting up and out. Let's take the arm balance. So coming into crow, bring the hands down, lift the hips, bring the right knee to the top of the tricep, point your left toe, bring that knee to the other tricep, and then what you can do is, for those who are trying this out, you can bring a block to the top of your mat and place your head on the block, and then try lifting one foot up with the knee on the back of the arm and the other foot. So do what feels comfortable. Once you're ready to launch, if you want to do one or both feet, lift the heels, squeeze the upper arms, and rock forward, pulling the toes together, squeezing the inner elbows up, engaging the core, toes are touching, back body is lifting. And back to Malasana. Good. Exhale. Let's try that again for one more time, and then we'll move on. Place the hands. Come to the ball of the foot. Lift the knees to outside the shoulders or on top of the upper arm. Rock forward or place your head on the block. Squeeze everything up. And just try maybe one foot or the other, both feet. And exhale, let's lift the hips, wide-legged, forward fold here. Just sway side to side. Let everything go. Good. Bring heel toe, feet together. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold bend the knees. Sweep up into our chair. And come to stand. Reach with the side body. And exhale down. Good. Let's open it up to triangle here. Step back with the left foot, about 3/4 from your mat. Hands on the hips. Lift and lengthen the quads up into the body. And then exhale, left hip goes back, hinge at the right. Reach that right arm by the face as you get long through the torso. And when you can't hinge anymore, open up both arms to the sides and start to rotate the chest towards the ceiling. If you want a challenge, you can bring your hand further down to the floor or even peace fingers to the big toe. And use that leg strength to pull the right hip down and back. So we don't want to stick our butt out. We want to tuck our bum and lengthen the front body through the midline. Okay, and that will keep us more balanced and centered. As we look down, let's take half moon, bending the right knee, opening up to a balanced posture. The right hands can come to a block outside the right pinky toe. If you'd like to take the bind, you can bend the top of the foot, grab back the foot, and open up into a back bend here. So wherever you are, root down into the floor, into the ground with a little bent leg, and open the chest a little bit more. If you have the bind, come into traditional Ardha Chandrasana half moon. Drop the top hand up and over the head and reach down, almost like reaching for the floor with that right hand, and then lift the left leg a little higher. So it's going to get nice and long in that left side body. Good. And then let's come into Warrior Two. So open up the arms again, bend that right knee, step way back, and here we are, ta-da, in our Warrior Two. Inhale, hands to clasp the right foot in, square off the feet at the center of the mat. Exhale, hands on hips. Drop the head, hinge forward here. Let's bring the hands to the mat, in between the arches of the feet. Pull the elbows in, shoulder blades up, and try and get your head to a hard surface, whether it's your block or the floor, and you may need to adjust your feet and how far away they are to get there. If your head easily comes to the floor, bring it between the thumbs. Breathe, lift and lengthen. Mula Bandha, sits bones to the sky. See if you can fold forward even deeply using those obliques and the muscles that go over the hips. Good. Squeezing inner thighs, inner ankles up. Take a last breath here. And inhaling, coming halfway up. Hands come under shoulders, lengthen. And then bring that left heel in. Walk the right heel in about a foot. And make sure that it's 45 degrees pointed towards the back of the left corner of the mat. And then right hand on hip, left arm. Let's come up, open up the arms, and do triangle on this left side. So I've set that up a little bit wonky, but the left heel is parallel to the outer edge of the mat, going towards the right arch. Squeeze the thighs up into the body, tuck the tail. So no sticking out the butt in this triangle. Okay? Squeeze everything up, lift the chest. Exhale, hinge over to the left, open up the right arm, and lengthen the left side body. So if you want to take this further, either keep a small bend to the left knee as you lengthen to open up that hamstring a little bit more. Always keeping active legs. You can bring the hands to peace fingers on the big toe. Find that helps to open up the outer arm. Maybe you look up at the right thumb. Find your peace where you're in a place of breath, slow thought, and peacefulness within mind, body, and soul. And then look down, right hand on hip. Just pop that up with the left knee into a balance here. Raising the right leg. And the left hand comes outside the left pinky. And we're keeping, again, a strong connection to the earth. Slight bend to the left knee if needed. And then rotating the chest open. You can take the bind if you like. Wherever you are, see how you can roll the chest open and really get into this hamstring stretch. And then we'll take this, if you have the bind, let go. Traditional Ardha Chandrasana, bend the left elbow and then drop the right arm by the ear. Just come into a nice side stretch here, reaching that right arm, almost touching or touching the ground, with the right leg lifted. Feel that length from the right hip, all the way out the fingertips. And then exhale, lift the arm up, bend the left knee, step way back, warrior two. Woo. Bend that left knee. Inhale, hands together. Left foot hinges in. Wide-legged forward fold. If you want to take this to a tripod headstand, get your blanket or a pillow for under your head. Be safe. Make sure there's nothing else around you. And hands on hips, lift the chest. Exhale, forward fold, hands between the arches, head down in the apex of the triangle, and then you can lift the legs up. For those who don't want to take tripod, bringing peace fingers to the toes, elbows wide, shoulders moving up the back. To demonstrate the tripod, my hands are flat, internally rotating that inner arm, inner elbow, dropping the head at the apex, and then coming onto my tippy toes, maybe bringing one knee on the upper arm, maybe just going straight into it. Once you've found it, again, bring those inner arms isometrically up through the chest and torso to lift the hips. Squeeze the thighs, inner thighs back. And exhale. Slowly lower down. Coming to halfway pose. If you took peace fingers, come halfway. Exhale. Rotate around to the front of the mat, framing the right foot. Let's take a vinyasa here. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. And let's take a child's pose here, bending the knees, coming to nice elongated child's pose. The elbows can be straight or bent, however it gets into your opening of the back, hammocking of the heart, releasing of the forehead. Good. Tucking the tail. Inhale. Let's come to tabletop. And then bring your left knee to the left wrist and walk that right foot back. So this is a pigeon prep here. So using the hands to keep the hips elevated. Find your comfortable pigeon. If you have knee issues or hip issues, just go ahead and roll off to the outside of the left hip. And you can keep a bend in the back leg off to the side as well. For those who want to work this a little bit more until you get both the left hip down and the top of the right hip, just use the arms to adjust, lift, and lengthen. And then from here, so level 1, off left hip is resting on the mat, right knee is bent, walking the hands forward, level 1. Level 2, arms are lifting, lengthening, walk the arms out with both hips square on top of the mat. Level 3, and maybe you go through a couple of these levels. Maybe you start at level 2, you move to level 3, or you start at level 1, etc. Level 3, rock onto the right side, let the right side come heavy to bring that left heel inside of the right hip bone. So that bony part of the front of the right hip, the left heel is going to be digging in there. Then walk to the right side of the body, right arm is long, and then come to either this reclined pose where you're opening, rotating the chest towards the ceiling using the left hand, or even getting namaste with thumbs of chest, rotating the chest towards the ceiling. So let's take about 5 to 10 breaths here in the pigeon of your choice. So go with what your body is telling you, what your body needs. So we need to go through any areas of tightness before we can get to the next level. We have to humble ourselves in our body to listen to our body and find what it needs the most. So no matter where you are, breathe and be here right now. Sinking in, getting into that hip crease, lengthening through the front body and the chest. If you're rotating, even just going there in your mind's eye or a millimeter in the physical. Nice long breath here. Take another 2 breaths. Good. On that last breath, walk the hands up and come to your tabletop. Untuck the back toes. Bring the knees under the hips. And then press back into downward facing dog. Good. Lift and lengthen. Maybe walk the feet a little bit, pedal them. And we'll do this on the other side. Bring the right leg back. Sweep the right knee forward to the right wrist. Pigeon prep on the right. Using our hands, keeping our hips elevated. Untuck the back toes and either rock onto the outside of the right hip with the left knee grossly or slightly bent for level 1. Walking those fingertips out. Namaste or palms together. Walking the body out. Level 2, we're going to be working on lowering that right hip. Of course, if you need props, if you took those on the other side, take them on this side. And folding forward over the center of the mat, the center of between the legs. Outside of the wrists, pinkies are moving forward, drop the head. Level 3, we're going to bring that left side down onto the right heel. So rocking the weight over to the left, you're going to feel the right heel start to kind of press into that inside of the left hip point. Bring that left arm out long, and then gently roll the heart open in this posture over that heel. You can bring hands to heart center and use the left elbow to open up the chest away from the mat as well. And let's take about 5 to 10 breaths, depending on where you are. Just getting comfortable, listening to our body, and working with slowing down the breath to release some of that tightness or any areas that feel heavy or tight. Surrendering to our body. Taking the last couple breaths here. Receiving the pose. On your next exhale, press the arms up. Untuck the back toes. Walk yourself back into a downward dog. And then let's bring the left leg back behind in three-legged dog. And then sweep it forward to the left wrist. And then let's come into pigeon prep again on the left side. So whether you're rocked over to the side or whether your hips are over top, square the mat. At this point, bring your strap if you need one. We're gonna go into a little quad stretch, and maybe for those of you who want to try it, a mermaid. So when we're in pigeon prep, you can bring your strap rolling off to the left side. You can bring your strap around your foot on the inside of the ball of the foot, and just keep it there handy. And coming forward, use the strap to, or just simply bring your hand to lift the heel towards the glute, and you're in pigeon like this, or you're having your left arm straight and you're pulling that right heel in and working into more of a balanced posture where you're balancing between the two knees, centered, and then eventually hooking the elbow into the foot. So in this prepped posture, we're going to be in pigeon prep with the right knee bent towards the hip. So we're reclined, this is more relaxed. And taking this to the next level, rock forward and come up on the left arm. And then bend the hand over the top of the foot and press the top of the foot down to bring that heel outside the right glute. So right now my left hip is lifted off the ground by virtue of my left arm, and I'm using a lot of my weight on the right side of the body to open up the right hip. Okay, and let's switch sides. So if this strap was helpful for you, you can use it on the other side. Downward facing dog here. Walk your dog out a little bit. And then lift the right leg. Sweep it forward to the right wrist. And come into pigeon prep on this side. If you need to come off to the side and grab your strap around your foot, bring that strap to touch the inside of the ball of the foot, and bring it towards over top your left hip, coming forward. Or if you have it, to grab your foot and bring it towards you. So pigeon prep, mermaid prep here with that left quadricep stretch. If this feels good, you want to take it to another level. Bring more of the weight into the left side of your body to square your hips over top. And notice that this isn't actually, with good hip strength, you can suspend your weight using Mula Bandha between the two knees, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha through the pelvic floor, using groin strength and the lower abdomen strength, just to keep the hips buoyed. Right hand is adjusting, left shoulder moving forward, pull that heel in, and just gently lower the front body to get that stretch. Okay, if you took the elbow in, good on ya. We're going to come to this one last time to get into full mermaid, okay? Hips are square, or if you have more hip issues, you're off to the side. But try and really reach and bring that heel in towards the glute even further. Okay, and let go, release. Let's come back to our downward facing dog. Lift the left leg and sweep it forward to the left wrist. Drop into your pigeon prep, and then lean forward, bend the back leg, grab the foot or grab your strap if you need to set up the strap, and then with your foot grabbed, use the left hand to roll the hips square forward, and then walk the inside of your wrist up to the elbow on the ball of your foot. So I'm literally going to just place my foot in that hook of the elbow, okay? So once I have that hook, where my inner toe mound is inside my elbow, I'm using that left hand, rocking my hips forward, and then pressing the knees away, balancing between the knees, using my lower body strength, and then the left elbow comes by the ear, and we're making the clasp. Okay, rolling that right shoulder forward wherever you are, getting into that quad, left hip back, and just work with this where it feels good. Dropping the left hip, coming to the outer edge of the hip, lifting the chest more. And when you've had enough, exhale and switch sides. Down facing dog. Inhale, right leg back. Bring it forward, pigeon prep. Roll off to the side, grab a strap, grab the outer foot. And you can, from here, with the foot grabbed, work the heel towards the glutes, bring the inner toe mound inside of the elbow. So I'm going to use my right hand to hook that inner toe mound into the elbow. And then right hand down, rock the left hip square to the mat. So hips are centered over top the right heel, and then rolling that left shoulder forward. Maybe you bring that right elbow by the ear and make the clasp. And then the foot should be secure as you reach and lengthen the low back, but also lift the lower body, the chest up and out. And just be playful with it. If you fall out, that's okay. Just find your adjustment, find the mermaid that you want to do today that helps you feel connected to your body and joyful to be practicing yoga. Last breath. And exhaling. Good. Let's take down dog. And drop the knees. Optional vinyasa. We'll make our way to our backs. And come into our prep for our last poses here. So with the knees up, arms out in a T, pick the hips up and drop them over to the right slightly, and then Bring that right knee over top of the left knee. Maybe double the toes underneath the left calf if you like. And then drop both knees over to the left. So reclined twist here. Left hand on outer hip. You can look over to the right hand. And become humble to this pose. Just let the body's weight dictate how this pose unfolds. Notice the breath. Last breath. Nice big inhale, and let it out. And unwind, bring the knees back up. Uncross, lift the hips over to the left. Bring the left knee on top of the right knee. Hook it under the right calf if you want. And then drop knees over to the right. Right hand can rest on top of the knee. And just make sure to adjust that your left shoulder isn't hanging so much in the air that you can feel some of that opening through the hips and the chest. And once you find yourself in a comfortable position, just really let go. Let the body's weight carry the opening and closing, the breath. Surrendering to the posture. Feeling gratitude. And last breath. Exhale, keep the knees bent, roll them up, uncross, and place your hips flat on the earth. So from here, if you'd like to take your sacrum on a block and start your Shavasana this way, or legs up with the hips on the block. Or you can heel-toe your heels a little bit wide and let the inner knees knock forward. Palms face up. It's going to be a really nice grounding posture after a series of back bends and hip openers like we just did. Just to really earth and ground the sacrum. Very dense bone, dense part of the body into the earth. Eventually, when it feels good, you can remove the block and come to Shavasana, or you can spend the whole time in Shavasana in that posture. So taking some breaths, getting grounded, letting the eyes be soft, the heart center receding into the body, pulling the senses and all the activity in the upper body down into the body, into that shallow breath, floating, receiving the medicine from our asana into our body, hitting the reset button with our Shavasana. Feeling heaviness behind the crown, heaviness in the hips, elbows, and the heels of the feet. the observer of your experience, imagining watching yourself relax into deeper, deeper states. Giving yourself this relaxation from afar. Relaxing the muscles of the face even more. Relaxing the heart even more. Relaxing the hips and legs even more. Giving our body exactly what it needs. Surrounding it with glow of warmth, cool, peace, surrounding the body. Calling in your intention today. Letting that well up into the body. Prayer. Belief. That wisdom that you know. You have faith. Gathering that in. Bring that together, pulling in those little parts and pieces and allowing that to flow inside the body, filling up the reserves. Begin to deepen your breath here. Maybe placing one hand in the abdomen and one on the heart. Creating little micro movements in the fingers and toes. And rolling over onto one side. Using the arm as a pillow. Take a moment to breathe on the side posture. On your next exhale, pressing with the arms, the upper body to a seated position. Rolling up with the head last, hands on the knees. Sinking into those sits bones as you raise the chest and lengthen the spine. Bringing hands to heart center. Loka samasta sukhinu bhavantu. beings everywhere be happy and free. Namaste, yogis. Bow to yourself for coming to your mat today. I'm bowing to you for sharing your practice with me. And I look forward to sessions in the future. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you soon. Namaste.